Hi, excited to be here with you in the Coherence Conversations, Brad. So this is the first, actually, I think, official gathering Coherence Conversation. So great to have
Awesome.
it with you.
Awesome. Glad to be a guinea pig.
Uh, it's, I mean, there's been many conversations already, and we're rapidly moving out of internal beta into closed beta. But great to be sharing this tool with the gathering US first. So yeah, in the conversation wanted to have to generate more, put out more into the idea space why we're doing the gathering. And I
Yep.
have my own strong reasons,
Yep. Yep.
but actually, I'm going to twist the question a little bit from what it says here.
Sure.
Uh, when you first, what as you like to say, you've been doing events for 30 years. You say you've done 1,000 events. I wonder how you counted that. But given all of that experience, when you looked at the gathering, what made you go and say, yes, I want to put a chunk of my time and energy into this?
Well, I love you, Victor. For one, I'm excited to be collaborating with you.
Thank you.
But my path has brought me um, to the art form of producing events. I love bringing people together. I grew up in a family where we hosted many parties at my home with my parents. They loved entertaining. They were very gregarious and had lots of friends. So I just kind of, took the mantle and ran with it. They
It's
used to
funny,
go out.
we never shared this story before, but actually, this is also my memories of my childhood. My
Oh,
parents
awesome.
always people over. I think, I mean, I don't know how it was economically when you were growing up, but also in Poland when I was growing up in the 70s or before that. I mean, people didn't go out, you didn't go to restaurants. I mean, you would on a very special occasion, but on a day to day thing, people just hosted at home. So, and my mother always loved hosting people. So, interesting.
Yeah, that's my memory of my youth is, birthdays or special occasions and dinner parties and you know it was great. My parents had a very large circle of friends, and I just grew up, with that as a normal part of my life. And so for me, I don't. I say I'm. I love the art of co-creation. I love bringing people together to collaborate and to create some magic when they come together. And so for me, and I have a great love for people and what they do, and their goals and their dreams, and I love introducing people to one another. And I had been doing a lot of traditional formats for my events, and the traditional conference is a little bit, uh, kind of rigid in the sense of people speak on stage, many people listen in the audience, some people meet, they connect, but not everybody connects. And so when I got, to understand the format that you had designed, it was a very inspiring design. And I'd been to Burning Man for many years, and loved what Burning Man represented. I helped create a very large camp called Red Lightning, and for 9 years we brought over 200 people together every year, and it was incredible building it together, and it was challenging building it together, but it was so nourishing to do that. And then we put on incredible programming, workshops, and speakers, and films and ceremonies. And so the format of the gathering, whether you'd been to Burning Man, maybe some of it was inspired, but a lot of it was inspired by your having gone to conferences and realized that people aren't connecting the way they could, and people don't have necessarily follow-up after the event like they could. So there were many aspects of the design that I really appreciated. And even though I hadn't been to one of the gatherings yet, you and I have come to a nice kind of middle ground of things that have been traditional in the format that you created and things that I'm kind of adding to the format. And it's a really beautiful um, intention to build a global network of these events and have the communities involved in those events connected through technology, which you're building on the back end of this uh, platform. So I'm going to keep doing events till I die is really my motto now, and I want to do it in a way that nourishes the participants, but not just nourishes individuals, but actually creates something valuable in the world. And so the format allows for more collaboration potential, bringing people together with the real, you go to Burning Man, it's not necessarily to collaborate on some kind of a project when you meet people. That might happen, and it does happen, and it's magical when it does. But the gathering has an intention, as your tagline is, connect for action. And it really is about bringing people together from a cross-disciplinary, um, and I guess this kind of goes into the second question is, who are we hoping to have at the event, and what do we ultimately hope will unfold from that collection or that confluence of people coming. So as we've explored, regeneration is a very large movement, but there are many other movements, um, uh, circular economies and sustainability and AI and systems change. And these are all terminologies that carry with them particular types of actions and activities in the world. And when you have people who are bringing different disciplines and bringing different points of view and bringing different intentions, you have the fertility of possibility. And I think that's one of the best ideas that this format allows is for the possibility that can exist when people meet, whether they meet sitting in a circle, whether they meet walking around the forest, whether they meet at dinner, whether they meet around a fire. There is a magic that happens when people are in nature. They're less guarded. They're more open. They're in they're in tune with the synchronicities of life. And so when they meet someone, it's very obvious when the possibility emerges of them co-creating something. I have a term, I call it idea babies. People meet and they have idea babies, and after the event, the idea babies may grow up and become a business or may become an event or a project of some kind. So I think the intention behind bringing these people together is very apparent, um, and we know that this environment will catalyze a lot of possibility. So um, the kinds of people who are coming are people who really give a damn about what happens on this planet. They're dreamers, they're artists, they're healers, they're business people, they're entrepreneurs, um, all types. We're summoning all types, and those the fertility of bringing that cross disciplinary confluence of people is what makes this event so magical. It's what makes Burning Man magical as well. You've got people from all over the world coming together. And so why did we do the US version is because, the US is a very large market of environmental consciousness, ecological consciousness, of entrepreneurship. So it's a very fertile environment here in the U.S. And I hope that we'll get people coming from Europe, but obviously there's been gatherings in Portugal. There's a gathering in Czechoslovakia, one in Guatemala, one in Mexico coming up. Next year, there'll be another 5 to 10 of these. And the idea is to build this beautiful network that you've envisioned, and not just build it for the events, but build it for the people in between the events. Allow them the technology to continue to connect people after the event, which is really, really critical. And a lot of conferences don't spend any time or have the infrastructure to support that. And I really value that that is one of your main goals, is to keep the conversations going. Um, so what can you say about, you see a similar intention behind this, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I wanted to say, connect with something that you said a bit earlier. I beat you because I am planning to be organizing until after I die, because I want my funeral to be a pyre with my body on top of it and everybody dancing around.
And inspiring gatherings going on forever and ever and ever.
It's
Well,
gonna be
we live in a time when we're being thrown into more digital AI structures in our life, and the art of connecting and the art of convening is often lost right now because it's harder to travel, it's expensive to travel, it's expensive to put on these events, but the the energetic of bringing someone in a physical space with others is something that is prehistoric. It's part of our primal history, right? Sitting around a fire, having conversations. I jokingly say that the primal fire was the original social media in the world, right? People telling stories, passing those stories around, which is exactly what social media has become. We just now use technology for that
Which
effect. But
brings me to
I,
one of my favorite historical factoids, ancient history. Do you know how old the use of fire is?
not exactly. I'm sure thousands of years.
Guess? Do you want to guess?
10,000 years.
1 million.
Wow.
Do you know
Wow.
how old our species is, Homo sapiens?
Not exactly.
Guess?
I would imagine just around a million.
No, no, no. We're a young species, 100,000 to 200,000 years old.
You're saying fire was here well before us.
It was previous hominids long before Homo sapiens. This is a very interesting thing. I love things like this that take us out of the exceptionalism of humans,
Yeah.
right? Fire is much older than Homo sapiens. There's actually a theory that we only evolved because fire allowed us to cook food and get so many more calories and thus have these big brains. But this is interesting, right? Like most people think like you, yeah, we invented fire. No, fire is long before us, as are stone tools, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what I wanted to connect with is what you said, that events are expensive, right? They're expensive in terms of time. People invest time to travel, to be there. In terms of money, of course, in terms of carbon, right? Which I think doesn't mean that we shouldn't have events, but I think it means that we should really use the time that we have together very intentionally and meaningfully,
Yeah.
right? And I think there is a certain responsibility actually for us as organizers and for the participants to really make that time be worth that whole investment. It is a burden on our budgets and on the Earth's budget. So how do we really create the event where that time together is really meaningful, and that we do the things because, like you said, the deeper connection, there is a spiritual connection and there's a deeper human connection, as well as deeper conversations, alignment of vision, solving of conflict. Certain conflicts, it's very hard to solve remote, if not impossible. You need to be together in person to be able to hug each other, to see the tear in the corner of each other's eyes. So there's so many, the deeper work of collaboration, of connection, can really only be done in person. uh, I love online. It's thanks to online that we're here speaking. You're in Mexico, I'm in Portugal. So it's an amazing thing. but we need both. And when we're in person, we really need to design and create the conditions for the deep human time to be there and to be the main thing of the thing. Yes, a few talks by great inspiring speakers, but connection is where the value of being in person is.
Like 100%. A lot of people have said, well, God, it's a whole week. I don't know if I can take a week. And these relationships take time. You just, and that's why the investment of those people coming is really important, because it does take time, and we give it 5 full days in the forest to allow those relationships to deepen. And we are building a trust field, something that I pride myself on, creating environments where everybody feels comfortable letting their guard down. It's not about business cards. It's about connecting with people, finding out where your common alignment is, and then seeing what emerges. I mean, we can't force anything to happen after the event, but we are creating some structures after the event. One, we're creating structures at the event. We're using an AI platform called WeField, where each participant coming to the event will do an audio profile of themselves, and then the AI engine of WeField will create 10 matches for those people to meet at the event. And then we're building what I'd call weaving circles. I don't know if you like that, Victor. Weaving circles at the event, where people go around a circle and say who they are, and then the person who remembers who their matches are can see physically and identify who they're supposed to be meeting, and then they talk to those people after the event. So not after the event, but after the circle. So we're connecting people before the event. We're going to be doing some Zoom calls and introducing people to each other. We're going to be doing it at the event, and then after the event, we're going to be creating something along the lines of social impact circles, where people come together around certain alignments they have, and seeing what emerges. Maybe just beautiful friendships and intellectual stimulation will occur. Maybe a project, maybe a nonprofit will emerge. Maybe a beautiful for-profit company will emerge. But we intend to nurture those relationships after the event, so that the things that were meant to come to fruition can come to fruition, because we are meant to meet and work with certain people, and events like this are one of the ways that I say we're all coming with our individual dharmas. We all have our paths, but when we meet certain people along those ways, it clicks on our dharma, right? And like you and I have met, and we've created this event out of your desire and my desire. And that's really the way the world works. It's about people coming together to co-create. We don't do anything on our own anymore. It's not possible just to do it on our own. It requires amazing collaboration, and the conditions for collaboration are really heightened at an event like this. So grateful for the opportunity. October 12th through the 18th in Redwood Forest on 200 acres in Mendocino County, one of the most amazing venues I've ever been to, called Camp Navarro. We anticipate somewhere between 400 and 500 people coming. I'm sure this is going to be a very memorable event. We hope that it will lead to an annual event, and we are prepared to host you if you want to come. So those of you listening, please join us. If you have any questions, reach out. Thank you, Victor, for this amazing platform that you've created. And let's see dozens and dozens of these coming to fruition in the years to come.
Beautiful. Thank you.